Well, hello, lovely humans, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Jamie Wolfer, and I'm a wedding planner based in Southern California, and I come at you guys every single week with tips and tricks for the modern day bride. In this week's video, we are going to be talking about toasts. Everything toast related that I could think of before I started this video. So if I'm missing something, I apologize in advance. But sometimes I'm not perfect. What? Okay. But I did my best to compile the answers to some of those most frequently asked questions that I get when it comes to toasts, so you guys can have a little bit more direction. But before we get into the meat, the nitty-gritty, the details of today's video, housekeeping stuff. I do this every once in a while at the beginning of the videos. For the last few weeks, I have mentioned something called the Wedding Hacker Expo. It is something that I have had the wonderful opportunity of being involved in, and I'm so excited for what this has already been for so many couples. Those of you who have purchased all access passes have already gotten access to the course. It is 30 professionals, both from the financial planning industry and the wedding planning industry, coming together and hitting you with all the best tips to having both a successful and financially savvy wedding planning process, wedding day, and starting off the rest of your lives together. If you guys are interested, go to weddinghackerexpo.com/Jamie to go ahead and sign up. That is coming up this weekend, my friends. This absolutely free weekend is coming up. Just free advice, just tons of it coming at you, hot. And for those of you who have already purchased the all access pass, that means that you already have access to all this content. You may have heard me mention something that's coming up. It's pretty big. I've been working on it for 9 months. And for those of you who are thinking it's a baby, no, it's not a baby. I'm wearing a flowy shirt at the moment, so it's probably not my best example, but no, it's not a baby. It's something for you guys that I've been working on for a really long time. So if you're interested in figuring out what it is, you can find out early if you go to the Wedding Hacker Expo and listen to my interview. Oh, hey. Or you can tune in next week here, 5 o'clock, Tuesday. Be there or be square. I'm kind of sweating just even vaguely referencing it right now. I'm so excited, you guys. I feel like this is going to be groundbreaking, and it's all for y'all, you guys, you people, my homies. So now that we've gotten our housekeeping things out of the way, let's go ahead and dive on into our topic for today. One of the most frequently asked questions I get about toasts is who gives them? Like, who's supposed to be giving these? And I'm going to say there's like a traditional route that you can take, but also know that you can scrap that if you're not interested or any of these parties are not good at public speaking and or don't want to, okay? But once we know the baseline, we can make changes from there. Traditionally speaking, it is the maid of honor, best man, parents of either side, either the bride or the groom, or the bride and bride, or the groom and groom, you know what I'm saying, and the couple themselves. If any of those parties are uninterested or not gifted in the ways of speaking into a microphone, know that you can either skip one or multiple of these people altogether or replace them with someone else that means a lot to you. This can be another bridesmaid, another groomsman. It could be maybe the person that introduced the two of you. I've seen that before, and that's been really cute, because just because that person is not a part of the bridal party doesn't mean that they aren't a pivotal part of your love story. So those are kind of the options when it comes to who gives toasts. Also, a lot of my couples don't give toasts. They're just not comfortable doing it. They don't want to, and that's okay. So I'd say there's generally anywhere from 3 to 6 toasts. The next most frequently asked question I get about toasts is, how do you write one? Like, what are you supposed to say? How do you say it? When do you say it? So I've broken it down into a couple of hopefully super easy steps to follow that can help you to craft the perfect speech. And I'm going to direct this at anyone that's not the couple specifically, because for the couple, all you have to really say is thank you for being here. Maybe thank your parents, maybe thank a few key members or your vendors. Hey-oh, we love shout outs. Thank you very much. But yours is relatively simple. You can share a quick little story if you want to, but the people that struggle with it the most are bridal party members and family members who've been asked to give a toast. So the first thing you want to do is introduce yourself. You don't have to start off with, for those of you who don't know me, because more likely than not, the DJ has just announced your name. So you don't necessarily need to go into your whole life story or start off with that very cliche one line. You can also use it, no judgment. If that's the only line you got, you work it, okay? It's fine. But basically you want to say, hi, I'm Jamie and I am Brooklyn's sister. Doesn't she look beautiful today? Yay, this is great. That's my sister. Her name's Brooklyn. I was her maid of honor. I gave a toast. Following the introduction, if you want, give a quick thank you, whether that is to some of the parents or that is to the couple themselves for hosting a beautiful day. It's a great opportunity to kind of sneak that in there and make sure that you express your gratitude for being a part of it, for enjoying such a beautiful day, for the great food, for the free booze. I mean, maybe not that one, but you know what I'm saying. The next step, tell a funny and or sweet story about you and the person that you're closest to in the couple. So like for me, obviously I was the sister of the bride, so I would tell a funny and or sweet story about her. I'm gonna keep referencing my toast with her because I feel like that's the one that I have the most firsthand experience with. So for us, we used to take my mom's pretty nightgowns and dress up in them. One was white and one was purple. And we would take turns being a bride and a bridesmaid. And my mom had fake flowers, and so we would like grab them and walk them around, and we actually have pictures of us doing this. So that was the sweet, funny story that I told about her specifically. The next thing you're gonna wanna do is tell a funny and or sweet story about the couple. I'm pretty sure I used this as reference. Brooklyn, if you're watching this, correct me. I'm pretty sure I talked about waiting. We were playing a game called Sardines, which is like reverse hide and seek, whatever. And that's when my brother-in-law was going to propose, and he was losing his noodle. Just like, I mean, at one point he fell over. We're in the dark, and he like flops over. He's like, I'm okay. Because he was so anxious about proposing to her, and they were taking forever to find us. And so pretty sure that's the story that I shared about kind of them as a couple. And then what you want to do after that is talk about how their story exemplifies love. I used that reference to say I knew in that moment that my brother-in-law loved my sister more than anything, because the thought of proposing to her was just like the most monumental thing he'd ever done, and I knew in that moment how much he loved my sister. Not that I didn't see it before, but he just was so overcome with emotion, he couldn't keep himself together. Next, you're gonna wanna go ahead and say what your hopes and wishes for them as a couple are. What do you want for them? What do you want their love story to look like? What do you want their future to look like? Just bestowing upon them like your hopes and wishes and dreams for who they're gonna be in 5 years, in 10 years, in 20 years. And then lastly, do not forget to close your toast with some sort of salutation. Now, if everyone can raise a glass to the bride and groom, here's to your love story. May it be forever beautiful. Cheers. Cute, right? And then you just go ahead and wrap it up. Now we've kind of gone over the framework or the outline of what a toast should look like. Here are a couple tips coming from a professional who's seen a heck ton of toasts. Some of them fantastic, some of them less than fantastic. First and foremost, be confident. I don't care if you have to hold your phone or if you have note cards and you feel super nervous, just deliver it with confidence. No one knows what's on your card. So like if you skip an entire section, no one's gonna know. Fake it till you make it. Be confident and own that stage. Secondly, this is coming from someone who has a past in like a history in singing. Not great, but hey, it's there. When you're holding the microphone, think rock star, not ice cream cone, because then the sound goes over the top of the microphone. Rockstar goes straight into it. Ice cream cone goes straight over it. So as you're speaking, be sure to hold the microphone at such a point that the mic can actually pick up what you're saying. Secondary to that would be don't talk with your hands, because then people are getting bits and pieces of what you're actually saying. So do your best to make sure that that is staying right in front of your mouth the whole time. Not ice cream cone, rockstar. Next, don't ramble. Do not ramble. Even if a brilliant story comes to you while you're up there and you're like, oh, this will be fun. Wait, but I need to explain the backstory for people to totally fully understand what's going on. Nope, skip the story, don't ramble. Ideally, you want your toast to end up being anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes maximum. You do not want to go longer than 5 minutes. So if you start rambling, you're gonna jump over that 5-minute line so fast or slow, depending on your perspective of time in the situation. Avoid inside jokes. I know they're really fun. I personally am a huge fan of inside jokes. I think they're hilarious. I love referencing things with family members or friends that bring us back to a time when we laughed our behinds off. But remember, you're speaking to an entire room full of people, not just that one person. If you have one that you really, really want to share, okay, that's fine. But don't make it inside joke after inside joke after inside joke, because then you're going to lose your crowd. And you don't want to lose your crowd. Next, do not forget your drink. And this is a question that we get asked often. You know, if I have the microphone and I have my notes, what do I do with my drink? Stand close enough to a table where you can set it down. So when it comes to the end of your toast, you can set down your phone or your notes or whatever it happens to be, pick up your glass, and then offer the salutations. And if you do end up forgetting it, don't worry about it. Okay, just say, everybody raise a glass. I'm gonna raise a pretend one because I forgot mine at my table. See, a little bit of humor in there. Do not be crass and be sensitive to the desires of the couple. I would suggest asking them beforehand if there's anything they don't want you to cover. The profanity, inappropriate talk, maybe a story they don't want shared in front of their grandmother. Just think through those details, and perhaps if you have a funny story that might be borderline that you really want to share, run it by the couple first. I know you want to surprise them with your amazing toast writing ways, but this is not the time to scar Nana. Please, please, do not drink too much. I get it. You're nervous. Maybe you want to throw back a shot, but do not drink too much. It is so painful and it is so awkward when you know a guest has been drinking and they're giving a toast. It's just like, it makes me want to get like a giant gong and like dong, because they end up rambling and then they end up sharing inappropriate stories. That's not to say that people haven't been drunk and shared perfectly appropriate toasts before, but you just lose your grip on the crowd, on how much time you've been talking, on what you're talking about, so don't drink too much. And last but not least, practice, practice, practice. Okay? If you are nervous, if you are not confident, if you feel like you're not sure if your story is funny enough, sit down and practice it. Do it in front of a mirror. Do it in front of your boyfriend. Do it in front of your mom. Practice your speech, because then you're more comfortable with it, which means then you don't necessarily, like, you don't have to have your speech memorized. You can always feel free to bring your notes up. That's perfectly fine. But if you've practiced, you only need to look down for quick reference points instead of being like, so, I met my sister on the day that I was born, and it has been history ever since. If you practice, you'll know a little bit more, and then you can be more confident, and then you won't ramble, and then you won't be staring at your phone. Always, always, always practice. I mean, kind of what I do every single week is like a sort of public speaking. I have notes in front of me. I reference them all the time, like this. I got notes, you know? I'm not flying off the seat of my pants. And occasionally, I practice. Sometimes you guys don't see the first round of my video, so even though this is kind of what I do for a living, really, it's still something that I know I need to practice and I need to work on and I need to go off of notes. But because I already have my ideas developed, all I have to do is do a quick reference to my notes and then get back to what I'm talking about. That's a little detail about me behind the scenes. I don't do videos without notes. I like control, okay? So that's all we have for today, folks. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to this channel. We are super, super close to 50K. Like, I could taste it. If that's a thing you taste, I would be able to, because we're so close. I will be doing a 50K giveaway. If you guys can think of something that you want included in that, drop it down below. Also, be sure to be tuned in for next week when the big announcement happens. Oh my gosh, I'm so nervous. I don't know if I'm ready. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I don't know if I'm telling you or if I'm telling myself. It's gonna be great. And until next week, bye guys.